Most people claim to hate extreme wealth. Their behavior proves they are lying to themselves. The topic sparks violent disagreement with intelligent people on completely opposite sides. One side sees wealth as proof of competence. The other sees it as proof of a broken system. Both have a point. Where do you really stand? By the end of this, you might realize your position is more complicated than you think. The argument for respecting wealth is straightforward. It's a proxy for competence. When you see a founder who built a company from nothing into a global force, you're not just seeing money, you're seeing evidence of vision, discipline, risk-taking, and the ability to create value for millions of people. The money is simply the measure of that value. It's the scoreboard. Society rewards those who solve big problems with immense resources. We instinctively respect the surgeon with a 30-year career, the engineer who designs a bridge that serves millions, or the artist whose work changes a culture. Their high earnings are a byproduct of their high impact. In this view, respecting wealth is rational. It's an acknowledgement of merit. It's a signal that a person has demonstrated an unusual capacity to get things done in the world. Their success suggests they possess traits worth emulating. This is the clean, meritocratic story we like to tell ourselves. The person with the resources must have earned them through superior skill. Why else would they have them? This belief makes the world feel fair and predictable. Effort leads to reward. Competence leads to success. We see the mansion on the hill, and our brain supplies a backstory of hard work and clever decisions. This is the just world fallacy in action. It's a cognitive shortcut our minds use to avoid the terrifying possibility that the universe is random and deeply unfair. We assign virtue to the fortunate. We do this because the alternative, that their position is pure luck, implies our own position is equally arbitrary. That's a difficult reality to accept. We would rather believe in a system of merit, even if we have to invent the merit ourselves. The respect we feel is a defense mechanism. It preserves our sense of order in a chaotic world. That feels convincing. A simple story for a complex world. But there's a problem with that story. A very big one. What about the person who inherited every penny? What about the lottery winner? The competence argument completely evaporates. The discipline, the vision, the value creation, it's all absent. The person did nothing to earn the resources. And yet, the deference often remains. People still listen a little more closely when they speak. Their opinions are given more weight. Doors open for them that remain closed to others. If our respect was truly for competence, it should vanish the moment we learn the wealth was unearned. It doesn't. This suggests something else is going on, something deeper and far more primitive than a simple appreciation for merit. Our brains are tracking a different variable. This is where the counter-argument comes in. It says our respect for wealth has very little to do with the person and everything to do with the system. From this perspective, extreme wealth is often a symptom of systemic advantages, luck, or outright exploitation. The person who inherited a fortune started the race on the finish line. The hedge fund manager who made $1 billion may have done so by betting against the housing market, profiting from the misery of thousands. The tech monopolist may have achieved their position by crushing competition, leaving consumers with fewer choices and innovators with no room to grow. In this view, respecting wealth is a cognitive error. It's like admiring the tallest tree in the forest while ignoring the fact it had the best soil and sunlight, and its roots choked out all the saplings around it. This argument claims that our automatic deference is a form of mental capture. We are conditioned by society to see wealth as aspirational. Marketing, media, and culture relentlessly bombard us with images of the rich and famous, portraying their lifestyle as the ultimate prize. We are taught to admire the symbols of wealth, the luxury cars, the designer clothes, the sprawling estates. Over time, we begin to confuse the symbols with the substance. We apply what psychologists call the halo effect. Because a person is successful in one domain, finance, we automatically assume they are wise, virtuous, and worthy of leadership in all other domains. A billionaire's opinion on public health or foreign policy is suddenly treated as expert testimony. Why? There is no logical reason. It's a glitch in our social reasoning. We are bowing to a crown that may have been stolen or simply found on the ground. And yet, even if you accept that, the feeling of deference persists. You can know intellectually that a person's wealth is the result of pure luck. You can despise the system that allowed it. But when you are in a room with someone who commands immense resources, your posture changes, your tone shifts, you choose your words more carefully. Why? Are we all just victims of a cognitive bias we can't shake? Or is our brain responding to something more fundamental? What if the respect is for the power itself? Imagine you're in a tense business meeting. You, an employee, have to weigh every word. You have a mortgage to pay, a family to support. Your tolerance for risk is low. You are constrained. Across the table sits a person worth $10 billion. They can afford for this deal to fail. They can afford to buy your company and fire everyone. They can afford to walk away and forget this conversation ever happened. They are, in a practical sense, operating with fewer constraints. They have more optionality, more agency. What you perceive as respect in that moment is actually a very primal and accurate assessment of a power differential. Your brain isn't admiring their character, it's mapping the force vectors in the room. It's a survival instinct. Deference to the more powerful actor in any given situation is a strategy that has kept our ancestors alive for millions of years. The money is just a symbol for this raw power. It represents the ability to influence reality, to say no, to start something new, to endure mistakes, to command the time and attention of others. When we respect the wealthy, we are often just acknowledging their greater degree of freedom. It's a form of envy, but it's an envy for their agency, their insulation from the everyday pressures that constrain the rest of us. This explains why the respect sticks even with the lottery winner. They may lack competence, but they have acquired agency. They can now quit the job they hate. They can ignore the demands of a difficult relative. They have bought their way out of obligations. Our brain registers that newfound freedom. It registers that power. The source of the power is secondary to its existence. This is a cold, almost mechanical calculation our minds make, constantly and below the level of conscious thought. So how does our brain make this calculation so quickly? Through signals. In biology, this is called costly signaling theory. A peacock's tail is a massive, heavy, brightly colored vulnerability. It's metabolically expensive to grow and makes the bird an easy target for predators. That's the point. A peacock that can survive despite this handicap is signaling its superior genetic fitness. It is saying, I have so much surplus health and energy, I can afford to waste it on this ridiculous display. This is an honest signal, because a weak or sickly peacock couldn't fake it. Human society works the same way. A $10,000 watch tells the same time as a $10 one. Its purpose is to be a costly signal. It says, I have so much surplus capital, I can burn this amount on a functionally useless object. A $50 million donation to an art museum, a private jet, a yacht that requires a full-time crew. These are the human equivalent of the peacock's tail. They are displays of excess capacity. Our brains are hardwired to notice these signals. They are a quick and dirty way to assess an individual's position in the social hierarchy. It's a preconscious process. You see the signal, and your status detection circuits fire automatically. The feeling you label respect is just the cognitive echo of that circuit firing. It's an ancient mechanism designed for a world where accurately identifying the alpha was a matter of life and death. Your modern egalitarian values might protest, but the ancient wiring hums along underneath. This automatic response is what makes it so easy to manipulate. Advertisers use luxury brands to sell you a feeling of status. Politicians wrap themselves in the symbols of wealth and power to project an aura of competence and authority. They are hacking your brain's status detection system. They are triggering that ancient deference circuit to bypass your critical thinking. They know that if they can look the part, your brain will do the work of filling in the blanks, granting them the halo of wisdom and capability they may not have earned. They are leveraging a bug in your social hardware. The system is designed to respect honest signals of fitness, but in our complex modern world, these signals can be easily faked, purchased, or inherited, leading our instincts astray. We are running Stone Age software on Space Age hardware, and the mismatch creates the conflict we all feel. So we are left with a deep internal contradiction. Our conscious minds want to believe in fairness, equality, and judging people by their character. But our unconscious hardware is constantly scanning for power, tracking resources, and deferring to the signals of dominance. We live with both realities at once. We may publicly condemn the excesses of the wealthy, but privately, our brains still snap to attention when they enter the room. We resent the inequality, but we are also fascinated by the agency that wealth provides. This is the uncomfortable truth at the heart of our relationship with money. So what do you think? When you feel that twinge of deference toward wealth, what is it you are truly respecting? Is it the person's competence and the value they've created? Is it a cognitive error, a story you tell yourself to make the world feel fair? Or is it a cold, primal calculation of power, an ancient survival instinct your modern brain can't turn off? Where do you draw the line between acknowledging power and endorsing the system that creates it?